Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 50 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of FTB Sky's Expert Mode. I am surprised that we're already on episode 50. This is just a fun pack. I am having a good time playing it. And I know I'm having a good time with it because I keep doing things off camera between episodes because I'm like, oh, I want to do this thing, but it might be a little bit boring to watch, so I'm just going to do it off camera so that we've made our progress and things aren't as ugly as they were before, but it wasn't super boring for you guys to watch. So yeah, so between episodes I did a few things. Got myself some more obsidian by way of a blast chiller, so you can now get your magma crucible and get things going. Now if I do this, you're gonna do that. So what if I do this? Okay, and then I do that, and then I do this, and then I do that, and then we're cool. Perfect. That works for me. And then destabilize redstone, you go back behind there. So minor little things. The reason I did that is because I want to get obsidian dust, which, by the way, Crusher is 1-to-1, but our buddy the enrichment chamber is 1-to-4 obsidian dust. So you get 4 obsidian dust per obsidian in the enrichment chamber. Highly recommend going that route if you're going to be needing a lot of obsidian dust, which I am, because I'm going to infuse it with redstone to get myself some flux dust. We're finally getting to the point where we can start making our Flux Networks stuff. Now to go along with that, I'm also going to need some ender cores. So flux dust is going to be used to make flux blocks, and then a flux controller wouldn't be a bad idea, and some flux cores, all of which are going to go towards making flux points and flux plugs, right? So those are the things that we need to really, look at getting today. And for that, we're going to need a healthy amount of flux dust. Cool? Yes, I know. I saw that I hit Y by mistake. Okay, we don't need to highlight that anymore. I get it. Are you done? Okay, good. Love that search for feature, though. So, yeah, by the way, between episodes, we updated the pack, and it, gave me, a bajillion quests to hand in, so I'm going to go do that real quick. Chapter 2 has, way more quests happening, and rewards. I think they heard me when I said we need more rewards here. Holy cow. We really do need more rewards, don't we? Yikes. Mewtwo Rune. Speed 30%, element preservation. Cool. Well, that happened to just complete at least, I think, some of my runes. So if I made a quick... Well, I have to get stuff I don't have yet. So that's right. I still want to knock that stuff out. Ooh, an Elven mana spreader? Don't mind if I do. Some cakes deliciousness. An extra mana steel mesh. Not too shabby. Okay. Alright, look at all this goodies that I'm getting here. Fractioning still gave me a nice gold upgrade. You're going to give me some extra logic circuits. You reward me with a lunar gem. Haha, get it? Because I went to the moon! I'm absolutely going to, use this mana steel mesh. I don't know that I care about these cakes so much. The Elven mana spreader is nice, too. That's super nice. Okay. Are there any other more quests that I get to hand in? Oh yeah, look at that. From Create, Deployer gave me some item vaults. Basic Energizer gave me some MB wire and spool. Look at all these goodies. And the blast chiller I did make myself, that's fair. Alright, now we're cool. We're all handed in. I think we're good. Great. I might upgrade you to a Spring-Align infused dash. Ooh, it can also be advanced filter upgrade. Oh my goodness, that's a super expensive thing, but I don't think we quite have the Springaline infused dash. We need some more Springaline dust, which is on my to-do. Springaline is annoying because of the water thing. This stuff over here. I really need to automate water from Elemental Craft. If I could automate getting these raw water shards, which I think I could do by crystallizing liquid elemental water, which is just liquefied source, right? And I'm assuming these are all fluids. So if they're all fluids, and it looks like they only need heat to be greater than 100 degrees C, so we don't need pressure for this, right, for the refinery. So we should be able to get all this stuff. Now, in fairness, I don't know that we need a ton of liquid, other stuff, but it does look like it can go, be used to make things, which is kind of cool. But, I would probably wind up voiding excess on these fluids and then using all my liquid elemental water. So we only need 15 millibuckets to get a water shard. So that would be a cool way to automate getting water shards, right? So that might be a thing we look at doing in the future. But for now, what I want to focus on, because that requires two things. It requires, to make this do what I want it to do, it needs both mana and rotational energy. So right now I've been doing like this like hokey kind of like I drop my mana tablet in here kind of deal, and then let it, you know, do stuff, and that's hokey, right? I wanna be able to easily bring stuff over to here. I also should automate getting more mana. Like, yes, we have the nice cake thing, which is good for like a one-off, but it's very much like a manually carry over a whole bunch of cakes, right? And then I don't want to do that many. Right? So we always have to like manually bring over a bunch of cakes and plop them down. And we could do some kind of like deployer or something. I don't want to do that. That's right, and you void that too. It's the worst. See why I hate having to place these things over here? So like, you get a lot of mana from cakes, right? But like, we should get into, and I think we can now, because I'm pretty sure almost, I'm not mistaken. Did you open up a bunch of more generating flora? You did. Almost all of these require some runes. So the fact that we got access to the rune maker thingy means we can do a lot more than we could before, right? So lots more mana generational type stuff unlocked, which is cool. Now, does this one have that extra mod? Botanical Machinery. Ooh, Mechanical Daisy, Mechanical Mana Pool. We should definitely check that out. So this is Botanical Machinery. That sounds cool. Botanical Additions. Also add some more flowers that I think generate mana too. Keeps bees calm. Mana from Forge Energy. Any nearby box containing Forge Energy will feed the flower with energy. Look at, I mean, that might be cool. We might want to check that out. That seems broken. I don't think we've ever used that before, have we? That's totally new to me. I don't know that I've ever seen that. Extra resources, extra runes, nothing terrible looking though. A Wither Builder, but uses mana instead. Produces mana while it's raining. Generates mana when a lightning occurs nearby. And it needs a minute to cool down. That's cool. Skulk stuff. Yeah. So, like, lots of cool Botania-y thingies that we can check out for mana generation. But let's start with Flux today, right? So over here, we just produced a whole bunch of Flux, which is cool. I'm probably just gonna need I'm gonna make a whole stack of Flux. I think that's like the right course of action here. And then Ender Cores, right? So we're gonna absolutely need some dielectric casings. So as a reminder, we're going to need some of you. And then we're going to need some of you. And we've already burned through all our dielectric paste, which means more kerosene and more mana-infused copper. Not a big deal. Not a big deal, mind you. Now, can I click this and get a bucket at a time? No, because you're gonna do the opposite of what I want. So if I really want to do this, what I need to do is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does that sound about right? 7, 8, 9, 10. So I think I am going to do that whole like route fluids thing over here. Now, you're empty, probably because you don't have any power in the space station. So my problem is my space station is running on peat right now. So we eventually run out. So we don't want that to happen. So let's do this. Let's get some pipes. We're going to need a few more of these. Right, so I bet we have some. Oh, actually, we don't have any oil in there, so never mind. You are sitting there being just not useful at all. But we're gonna automate this probably in this way at some point. So I want to be ready for that, right? That should be cool. Okay, and then when we're ready to do this, we'll do that. So the key is we want to get Flux so we can power our space station among other places around this base to make all this happen, right? So while that's waiting, let's take our fluid tank of 10 buckets of that, and then you can that, and then you should be ready for mana-infused copper. And then we should be able to get more mana-infused copper. I forget how much. Works for me, right? That's pretty cool. And now we've got more dielectric paste on the way. Perfect. While we're waiting for that, we can get to crafting. So what we're going to want to make is and I want to see what I have, because I think I might have a few basic capacitors left. But let's get like 4 of these, right? Does that sound like a good number? So for this, we're going to need you, and then we're going to need you, and then I think you convert, right? Basic capacitor, tiny. Which one do I need for this? I need basic capacitor, tiny. Cool. Well, that's awesome. All right. So then you're going to be this, and Eyes of Ender. Yes? Which shouldn't be a problem because we've got loads and loads of everything we would need. Now, am I correct that that's all we have to do? And then you're going to laser it up? Nice. And that's actually running pretty quickly. So I'm not too worried about that. That's doing a good job. Now, automating this will definitely be a thing to do, right? And we can definitely look into that. And then what we should be able to do now is get flux plugs. So flux plugs and flux cores. We're going to need more obsidian, but that's okay. I can always make more lava if I need to from my magma crucible. In fact, I might start that. Let's get, you know what I'm going to do? How much is in your buffer? 16? That should be fine. I'm going to be ready for lots more obsidian happening here. Do I have an extra tank? Not really. I could steal this one, though. Cool. And then you're going to push lava up, and then just let that run. Beautiful. Okay. So now, and do we have some obsidian left? We do. Good. I made a bunch between episodes in preparation for this. So now you, as I recall, are relatively easy. So a flux plug shouldn't be a problem, provided I have some silver plates. Okay. There you go. Cool. Are you guys dead yet? Yes. Good. Good. Come here, force-infused biodiesel. Or force-infused not biodiesel. Yoop. Lovely. Now everybody's spinning, and that gives me more capacity. So I no longer have to worry about... So we were like getting real close to stress, and that should no longer be a problem for us, right? Which means we can even turn that on and still have a little buffer. I'll keep it off for now. But that helps. And I can move my oxygen over there at some point too. What I'll probably do is move my oxygen over. And that's right, I came over here for a reason. With a ender tank. Right? So I'm producing oxygen over there. We can just, you know, teleport it over here with an ender tank and call it a day. And that gives me even more rotational energy. Note that I did replace all my electrical stuff over here, so now we have a full set of tier 3 magnets going on for power gen. I forget how much that makes now, but it's a pretty decent amount. And that is going to be super useful to us. Okay, so that's you. And then you're going to upgrade to this. Right? And then we're going to want you. So that flux plug will wind up sitting here. So how about on you, your side config on the top will be blue. And then we can set up our very first network. Dyer's network, public and blue. Sounds good to me. Perfect, right? Cool. Now, I do like the idea of having a controller on the network. Is that like a terrible idea right now? Because we're going to need a lot of flux to make that happen. But I guess that's probably... Wow, that's expensive. We need 5 blocks to get a controller. Maybe not yet. Maybe not yet. Maybe not yet. Okay, but what we can definitely do is a point. Let's do 1, 2, 3, right? And then we can get a flux point, and that would be good. All right, and now let's go up to our space station. So before we go up there, we want our spacesuit, And we want to take off this stuff, equip this guy, dial up the space station. And rather than having a peat generator living here, we're going to instead pop down our flux point, add it to the Direwolf 20 network, and now you should be getting power. You would think. Why aren't you getting power? Maybe chunk loading? Ow. So this chunk, definitely not loaded. So let's make sure that I understand where my boundaries lie. I should probably, yeah, I did not build this within a chunk boundary at all, because that's, you know, good old Dire. But that's okay, we'll just claim the whole shebang. How's that sound? Cool? So now if we pop up to the space station, you guys have power. Sweet. And look, we're getting power now, right? 3,000 RF a tick every now and then. So that's cool. Look at that. And these guys have upgrades in them to make them like super fast. Loving it. And then you're going to fill up with stuff. Is that cool? So now we've fully automated all of our oil generation, which is probably really good. Because previously I had to run up there and put peat in there, and that was just not a good time, right? So now you're not getting enough heat, so now let's fully automate it by doing this. Boom. So now he's going to drain out some diesel. He's going to feed it into Mr. Blaze Burner with straw, and he will basically always be hot, right? He will never run out of fuel because we're constantly producing oil. We're constantly converting it into diesel. We're constantly using that diesel to make what we want to make. That's going to be pretty cool, right? I like that plan. I like that plan. Now, I should start getting into laser I/O soon so that I could do this stuff with laser I/O, and then we wouldn't have this big buffer of diesel in here, because look, we have 900 millibuckets. If I do this, we've got, you know, so there's like 6 buckets of oil or diesel just sitting here inside these pipes that's being wasted-ish. Maybe not terribly awful, but like not great either. Okay, so now you've got a nice force-infused biodiesel, so that's good times. What I'm going to do is that, so that you're nice and empty. I'm going to do this, so that you're nice and full. And then you should start working on force. Cool. And that's good. And remember, we get a lot of diesel from this process, so that'll be fine. Right? So I think that works. That's cool. I'm good with that. Yeah, we should be fine on this front. Cool. And then you'll build up like a hefty amount of crude oil, right? Now, what are your problems? Not enough heat. One of 24 block faces are exposed to air. Really? Which one? Oh, it's probably the top. Forgot about that. There we go. No problems. Everybody's happy now. Plenty of temperature. Look at them go. Look at them go. Heating up real good. Okay, so now that we've got flux points, which is huge, which means we can really kind of cut down on some of this dire wire sprawl, right? What I was thinking is we could get rid of the I get zapped because high voltage thing over here. Okay, so we can remove pretty much all of this. Okay, and instead go flux ducts. Cool. Now I might want to still do a couple MV type dudes. Like, so you need power, right? Yes. And if I wanted to, I could still keep my MV wire connectors here. So I could do U, HV goes away, insulated MV, yes, that's what I want. I probably don't need that or that or that or that anymore. Or that, and I'll put those away. So could I just do something simple like this to save me a little bit? Yeah, that seems cool, right? It's cool by me. So you know what? Maybe not, because I also need to power these guys, right? So I still want to use a little bit of wiring, because I don't want to waste too much flux ducts if I don't have to. So like I don't want flux ducts running all the way over there. So I can totally use MV wire still to accomplish this. What if I instead had you come off here and go like this? Can you reach all the way over to here? You can. Very dire wire. Hey, look, we're not going to get rid of all the dire wire, right? I don't think so. I don't think so. Right? And then this could be a flux point as well. Okay? And this might solve some of my problem of my power doesn't flow fast enough that we were having, right? So now I pop you down here, and we make you Direwolf 20's network, and you're going to have no problem doing the heat thing. I could probably even have two going on, except that that's probably going to tank my power gen, because we're only producing around 2.9 thousand RF a tick with our current setup. Now, we could probably wind up doing better, right? So that'll be a net gain again now. We should be gaining, maybe, or breaking even-ish. I guess we're using power somewhere else, so that makes sense. Okay? And then we can start, like, obviously we don't have an unlimited amount of flux plugs, but, like, we can easily get relatively more from that crafting process that we just set up. So I think we're good, right? And you please make me more lava. Cool? This is how I made lava between episodes. And you're doing that, and then we're out of kerosene for now. Not out of, but, like, used up the 10 buckets that I grabbed. But that's okay. This thing is now going to keep running all the time, and that's going to be awesome. Right? And you'll just keep making more and more diesel, which will be sweet. And then you've made another tank of force-infused diesel. So we're doing really good on power gen stuff right now. I'm thrilled. I'm, like, really thrilled. And then we can start cutting back on some of the dire wire sprawl, right? We clean this up a little bit, and it won't be... I mean, yeah, we'll see. I'm not in a rush to get rid of it. But at least now, if I wanted to set something up over here, it would not be a problem. It would just be like, flux point, done, cool. Speaking of doing that, let's look at getting that more mana. So talk to me about you, Energizia. Do you think we could do this right now? Maybe. So we're going to need a Rune of Fire. We're going to need a Rune of Air. And then you're going to need green and red petals. So that doesn't look terrible. And it just said if there's a block that contains RF nearby, it'll take stuff, right? So let's look at that, because that seems like super OP and broken. So right up my alley, right? So let's get that. So if I wanted a Rune of Air, we're going to need Mana Powder, Mana Steel Ingot, the Wee Rune, and Air Essence. Okay, and then for Rune of Fire, most of the stuff we do need Mana Steel though, so that's going to be a pain. But like the reason I want to do this is because I want to have more mana, so I can easily break down and get liquid elemental water, so I can easily get more water shards, and no longer will it be a hassle for me to get both Mana Steel and Springling, right? Because right now it's a little bit of a hassle. I have to keep like farming fish. The worst, right? Could I automate farming fish? Yes. Can I instead automate a cool machine? Also yes. Cool. So Wee runes are going to be rune inscription. We're going to need some air. Air essence, some kind of air gem, and a minor rune slate. And also remember, like, this is a quest that we should have done a little bit ago. So like let's get into this rune scribing thing, because I don't know it that well. I think I played with it like once or twice back in the day, but like I'm not an expert by any means. Okay, so we're going to need some things. So we're going to need elemental binders. Okay, so we're going to need a lot, right? So did we get an element? We do. We have an elemental binder, so that's good. We do have that. We're going to need a rune inscriber, which needs swift alloy, which is also made in an elemental binder. And then we're going to need strongly contained crystals, which needs springaline shards and swift alloy nuggets. So let's get swift alloy going first. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swift alloy nuggets, or ingots, right? So 5 swift alloy ingots to get this going. So gold, drenched steel, copper, redstone, and air crystal. Okay. And remind me, oh, we already have 5 air crystals. Sweet. Okay, so we've got 5 air crystals. Then we're going to also need 5 redstone, 5 copper, 5 gold. And then we needed springaline crystals. No, drenched steel ingots. Okay. Steel times 5. And then your job is to do the thing. And how are you for water? We have a little bit of water shards in there, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to need some more. Guess we'll find out. Nope, actually we're good. Hey, didn't I see particles? Yes. Okay. So then it matters what order you go into. So it's going to be gold, steel, copper, redstone, air. Gold, steel, copper, redstone, air. And you're going to need, in order to make the swift steel ingots, air stuff, right? So from elemental craft, you're going to get an element pipe. There we go, right? And then that's going to fill up with air element. And we should have plenty of raw air shards, right? Because we get air, fire, and earth from our mob farm. We just don't get any water from it. So that's, the challenge. But that's why I want to do the processing liquid source stuff, okay? So I don't know how much this needs, but let's do that. Hey, there you go. Sweet. That's cooking. That's cooking real good. Beautiful. All right, so you just need to break things down a little bit faster. Elemental evaporator. Is there like a higher tier evaporator? Not really. So I guess the key would be, if we set up the automation, what we should do is we should generate all the elements by processing the sources, right? And we're gonna have to do this for all of them, right? So we're gonna have separate crystallizers, each one responsible for breaking down their appropriate element. So it'll be like you get a refinery, so you have liquefied source come in, split it into 4 pieces, have those 4 pieces then distribute into 4 sets of liquid crystallizers, and then those liquid crystallizers will be producing air shards. They'll each need mana, and I think we have to mana burst mana into them, right? And then we'll have our shards. But we'll start with water because that's going to be the priority for us, only because water is the one that we ironically use the most and is the least automated. FTB, please. Okay, so now Rune inscriber, I should be able to get this. And then we're going to also need our amethyst. And this is the part where I'm probably going to need to get some help from the old killing fish thing. So I'm going to go do that off camera. And we'll be right back. And yes, could be automated. I know. All right, so now I should be able to make this guy and this dude. Rune inscriber. Boom. And then I need a hardened handle, which is going to be any stick, white rock, air silk, and earth crystal. I have an earth crystal. I have, what was it, 2 white rock? 1 white rock. And then air silk is string in an air infuser. Do we have any? Nope. But we have string. And an air infuser. Oh, you're filling you up, aren't you? That's your problem. Should be able to do that. And then this. Hooray! And then put you back. I guess what I should do is like reverse this and have like this be first and this be second. But I could probably rearrange that. We are going to need more air shards for sure. Yeah, we'll figure it out later. Once I need to like redo all of Elemental Craft, right? But I think we're like getting to the point where we're going to want to do that. So, yeah. All right, so now we should be able to stick, white rock, air silk, earth, right? So stick, we'll use a 4 stick. White rock, air silk, earth. And that needs to sit on top of another type, doesn't it? Yes, it needs to be sitting on top of earth elemental. Makes sense. So what if I disconnected that dude? How about I make another container? Okay. All I need then is more steel ingots times 2. Which is not bad because drenched steel is relatively cheap compared to springaline. And then I could just have you earth. I could have you just sitting here. Now what I said I should do. So let's do this. Let's reverse this stuff, right? Well, maybe not you yet. You can stay connected and you can stay connected for now. But what we should do, I think you retain. Now I'm just gonna break you. It's fine. But what we'll do, you're disconnected now, so you're full. You're full. We're gonna use our pipe. Didn't I just pick one up of you? Oh, I used it to craft, didn't I? Yeah, I bet I did. Okay. Can you be upgraded to like a better? If I did more drenched steel? I guess I could afford that, right? I guess I could do that. So that's regular element pipes, right? So now you're going to go and do that. You're going to drain out. So now you're empty, okay? I'm pretty sure you retain your stuff. So I'm just going to move you. And I'm going to put you here, okay? So now you, any air shards that you're getting is draining out and going into there. Perfect, right? And then we can have this dude connect like that, okay? And now for you, we're just going to have that. What is that noise that I just heard? I don't know. Okay. So now for earth, right, I'm going to, you're disconnected. I'm going to plop you down. You're going to drain. Boom. Okay. And let's make sure that you're also, you're draining, right? Yeah. Yeah, you're full. Cool. Break. Break. Okay. And then earth can live there. You're going to drain directly into earth. You're going to have this guy ready to go for crafting little one-offs, right? And that's how we're going to play that. Is that cool? I think that's cool. I think that makes sense. Okay. And then once we get the other element, like we're going to need 2 more element containers, but once we get to that point, we should be cool. And then we can move this one around as needed to be like, yeah, I want to make my stick, this dude, air, sir, dirt, and then you should be cool. And we've got our hardened stick ready to make our Rune inscriber. Nice. Cool. Okay. Nice. Now to make fire runes, we're going to need over element container of fire, and to make air runes, we're going to need over air containers. So we're going to have to do this for. Oh, look at that! Hey, chapter 2 quest complete. Told you once I did that I'd be quest complete on chapter 2. So we are going to need another one of those. So let's get another container, which needs a lot of work, obviously. More element pipes. It's going to need more steel for sure. I feel like we're going to need 4 total, right? 2 for the container and 2 for the pipes. And we're out of water again. Rip. Alright, this time I'm doing, that should be cool. That worked. That's like a vacuum hopper. Collector of some kind. Man, can't think of much else to use with all these puffer fish I got, right? So yeah, not impossible to automate. Don't get me wrong. I just want to automate it in a better way. Okay? But that's a good start to getting some more stuff. Cool. And that shouldn't be long. So now we can get our improved pipes. And we can get our element container is pretty close. I just need you. And then, oh, a springaline dust. Okay. There you go. And that. Okay, so let's do this. Let's wrap up the episode here. I'll come back next time. And when we get back, I'll start working on all these runes. And I'll start working on getting a bunch of cool stuff. Speed 30, element preservation. Nice. Okay. We'll start getting some cool fun times going on. Sound like a plan? For now, that was my sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time and get mana production from flower power. That sounds bananas, but we'll try it and see what it looks like. There's obviously other ways to produce mana if we so desire. But just the fact that we have access to something like that means I want to try it. I mean, it seems broken, but you know, Dyer, he likes broken, right? He does. He does like broken. Dyer's a fan of broken sometimes. All right. For now, that's my sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. You know what to do. Take it easy.